Well, this sure isn't the video I was planning on filming today, but 1 year after the infamous Black Wednesday, literally April 15th, last year, WWE had one of their biggest days of releases in company history. Names like the OC, Rusev, Zack Ryder, Kurt Angle, among many other talents were let go from their jobs during a global pandemic. But here we are again, exactly 1 year later, just chilling in class and, vibing. And then I open up Twitter because, I'm not paying attention, obviously. It's school, who does that? And I see the words Samoa Joe released. And then I start scrolling and I start seeing several other superstars, and I imagine more are to come before this video actually makes it out. But as of recording, WWE has come to terms on the release of the following superstars: Samoa Joe, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Chelsea Green, Tucker, Wesley Blake, Bo Dallas, Kalisto, and Mickie James. That's a pretty big list of people there, and it could even grow. If it does, then that sucks. What the hell, WWE? If you need to cut budgets, I feel like a global pandemic, when people are really relying on income and relying on their jobs, this probably isn't the greatest time to do this sort of thing, but we already all scolded you as fans last year. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these names here. The first one, of course, popping out to me is Samoa Joe, one of my favorite wrestlers on the entire planet. So underutilized in WWE. All he really had was a US title reign and a couple of high-profile matches with the likes of Lesnar, AJ Styles, etc., but never won a world title, although he probably should have. And I feel like the best he was really used was in NXT against guys like Nakamura and Finn Balor. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, who were a tag team for a very long time, the IIconics, they were broken up, and then it kind of led to nowhere, and now the both of them ended up back into tag teams, kind of. Peyton Royce was with Lacey Evans for a little while, Billie Kay was with Carmella for the last couple of weeks, and they were broken up for absolutely no reason. It didn't really make any sense. The fans hated it, and you can tell exactly where it went now. Absolutely nowhere. Chelsea Green, who I believe only appeared on SmackDown maybe once and was in NXT for a bit. This one I can kind of understand, just with her husband Matt Cardona, formerly Zack Ryder, leaving the company last year. This one isn't as much of a surprise to me. I could see her probably wanting to go wherever he is, but I think wherever she goes, she'll do fine. We've got Tucker, who was of course in Heavy Machinery with Otis, definitely overlooked because of Otis's surging popularity, and then they broke up, only for Otis to get now into a tag team with Gable and Tucker to do absolutely nothing. Of course, Otis did hold Money in the Bank for a little while and then dropped that, and now he's doing pretty well. Again, nothing. He's in a tag team with Chad Gable. So there we are, two tag teams there that should have never been broken up, and then, maybe these people wouldn't need to be released in the first place. We have Wesley Blake, who hasn't done a whole lot since winning the NXT tag titles. He was in the Forgotten Sons faction until they were taken off TV due to the actions of Jackson Ryker when he spoke out against the Black Lives Matter movement. Yet here we are with Jackson Ryker now being featured on television aside Elias. Steve Cutler was already released, so Blake is gone now as well, because apparently they're the ones that did something wrong and not Jackson Ryker. We've got Bo Dallas, who has probably been in catering for months. I can't remember him doing much of anything really since the Miz Tourage, and even that is pushing it. He's been overlooked for years and years. This man was an NXT champion at one point, but a lot of people thought he was going to return and be a part of the Firefly Funhouse, albeit that his real life brother is in fact Bray Wyatt, but I guess that was never going to come to fruition. We've got Kalisto, a former cruiserweight and United States champion, probably a man that they saw as potentially the next Rey Mysterio, but that never really panned out. He was in Lucha House Party, and then I think he left the group. I don't really remember why. All I know is 1 week he was there, the next he wasn't. And I can't honestly remember the last time I really saw a Kalisto match, so this one doesn't surprise me as much. I'm guessing he's been on 205 Live probably, but it honestly is a real shame. Kalisto was a great wrestler. Of course, I'll always remember him for that Salida del Sol spot off the top of the ladder. That was absolutely beautiful. And then we've got Mickie James, one of the greatest women's wrestlers in WWE history. Her recent run for the last couple of years, since 2016, 17 when she came back, wasn't the greatest. I feel like her highlight was the return match in NXT against Asuka, but other than that, she's had a few high profile matches, but they never really came into championship gold or anything like that. Now this is awful. I don't know why WWE again is doing this during a global pandemic. It really sucks. I do wish the best of luck for all the superstars that were released. I could definitely see all of them doing big things outside of WWE. Obviously Samoa Joe is going to be money wherever he goes, and I honestly thought he would be returning on Raw last week or SmackDown on Friday night. I was gonna theorize that maybe he'd be the next to challenge either Roman Reigns or Bobby Lashley, just like a lot of people were on Twitter, but that really came as a shock. Could definitely see him going to AEW, New Japan, somewhere like that, wherever he feels like it. He's definitely going to be very sought after on the market. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, I hope they reunite and they reform the IIconics and they go tear it up wherever they please as well. Maybe go to the AEW women's division, because that's starting to get kind of decent now with people like Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker getting that that high profile match, and they could be a real force in forming that AEW women's division to what it really should be. Tucker, I honestly can't say a whole lot about. I was never big on Heavy Machinery, and Otis obviously stood out a lot more than Tucker did, but who knows, maybe he's got it in him. I do believe he was signed to WWE for a very long time, so he's definitely got a lot of good experience. I'm sure he'll go somewhere and he'll make money and wrestle and do great things. As for Wesley Blake, I could certainly see him going and reforming his team with Steve Cutler out on the independent scene. I think that would be great. The two of them honestly worked pretty well together. Their whole thing is just kind of tainted by Jackson Riker's just existence. Bo Dallas, I'm not sure honestly what he's gonna do. He hasn't been on TV in a very long time. And then for Kalisto, I'm not exactly sure, maybe going back to Mexico or somewhere like AEW. I'm sure they'd be interested in him. And Mickie James, I don't know. I can't remember the last time she wrestled, if I'm being honest. Maybe this is like coming up on her retirement, but I'm not sure. So don't take that out of context, but I'm sure if she wanted to go anywhere in the world, she could. She's one of the greatest of all time. But it's just overall like a really, really shitty situation for these people. Not even these wrestlers, these people that have just lost their jobs. Really, really feel for them, but WWE has wished them the best in their future endeavors. But anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully there aren't any more releases to come, but the rumor mill suggests that there are. I'm not gonna sit here and speculate about more names because that'd be kind of shitty of me to do. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. There'll definitely be a more positive video. It's just crazy because literally my last video was me praising WWE about how great WrestleMania was, and here I am just kind of like, oh, what are you guys doing, man? But anyways, guys, I will see you very soon with a more positive video. Thanks for watching.